It's been a long couple of days. But so I thought maybe kind of what might be useful would be if I kind of explained a little bit the process behind kind of the decision making around this exhibition. Myself and Sarah started talking about this show around the summer, I suppose, maybe kind of June. And like I was very familiar with the programme, I was familiar with it in the many guises that it had been through. So I kind of started off with going back through the archive of what ARC had been, how it had been presented in the past. And it's been a kind of a showcase for very established Fingal artists. It's also been a platform for emerging artists and recent graduates and emerging curators. So it's really kind of gone through a full spectrum of representing artists at different stages of their career. So I kind of thought for this particular, seen as it's an anniversary one, it's the 10th one, that it would be interesting to look at artists who are neither emerging nor fully established, but are at that particular point in their careers when this type of support could really be kind of a turning point, or that we're kind of really getting a sense of the trajectory that their practice is taking. And I suppose I started the process with a very loose sort of outline of what my own kind of curatorial interests were. I'm very interested in kind of local history and sort of oral history that's not necessarily written down and has this sort of transient quality that could be lost at any time. And I went through the database with Sarah of artists who are working in the region, working within Fingal. And to be honest, the quality of artists in Fingal really is a testament to it as a location, as a good place to make work and to be supported in the production of your work. So there was, really, really high standard, but it was about trying to pick out artists that I felt there was an affinity with, or that sort of shared common interest, or that I thought could articulate the things that I was interested in ways that I wasn't able to articulate it. And I was very fortunate to come across this motley crew. So it was kind of a process of conversation, met a number of artists in their studios, and was really interested in the work that Ella, Niamh and Ruth had done in the past, and was really excited about getting involved and having a kind of an insight into how they work as artists. It was a very interesting process, particularly with Ruth and Niamh. I felt like an interloper watching them work, and particularly when we were installing during the week, they had these lovely little private conversations that are really, they are very much kind of, it's almost performative seeing them install the exhibition. But the premise for the exhibition was very much about situating the work here in Fingal, about trying to unpack something about this place as a region, as a community, its history, and I think the girls have really done that. It's, for Ruth and Niamh, the work that you're seeing here, this is mostly it's all made out in Glenmaroon House, which is out around Chapel Islip. And it's a historical house. It's kind of been through a very kind of checkered past. It's been a home to the Guinness family. It's been a holiday home or a home for guests. It's also been a psychiatric hospital, and it's also been used as a film location. And the girls are kind of using this sort of very interesting past and weaving it through the installation that you see here. So it kind of touches on ideas of a murder mystery, and we're very much led to kind of draw our own conclusions with the clues that the girls have left here for us to try to decipher and work our way through. So it's quite the attention is in the detail. I would tell you to look quite closely and spend time with it. There is a sort of a logic and there is a system to how everything has been installed, particularly the photographs behind you there. And then upstairs, Ella DeBurca she was on a resort residency, which is organised through Fingal Arts Office, Carlin, which is a week-long residency in a mobile home in Portrane. And we had already kind of had conversations about this exhibition before the residency, but I think that time really helped Ella to kind of firm up the work that she wanted to make for this show, and it's really lovely that there is that kind of thread, that connection between the residency and the work that's being produced here. I think it was kind of interesting to have an outcome for the residency as well. So the work that she's produced upstairs is a dual screen, it's a film installation, and it's kind of looking at sort of the inherent legacy of St. Ita's psychiatric hospital and how that's kind of infiltrated the kind of emotional sort of history of Portrane. And it's a very quiet, quite a simple piece in terms of I'll say that after 3-4 days of wrangling with projectors. But it's quite a simple idea of just something that this sort of collective grief and this collective shame that we feel around institutional abuse, around how people have been treated in our communities, and it's sort of a gift and an apology to the patients of St. Ita's, but a really lovely, kind of very nuanced piece that I would urge you to spend some time with too. So I think what's really lovely about this show is that we have artists from Fingal who are making work about Fingal and it's being presented here in Fingal. So it's a very special show, and I was really thrilled to work with all of the artists. I'm also extremely grateful to Draiocht and their install team, Eamon, Erla, Ian. We pushed them to the limits over the last week and they've been extremely obliging. So thank you, Emer, and their team, and the marketing team, and also, of course, a huge thanks to Fingal Arts Office. I've had the pleasure of working with Sarah on a number of different things now at this stage, and they are a phenomenal arts office. And congratulations, and thank you for bringing me into the process.